Yo, are we live? Welcome to another edition of Too Early for This podcast. I'm the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dime One. Please feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this content, this lovely content with your friends, family, as well as your followers. All right. If you want to support the channel even more, if you want to become an official Don Squad member, Don Squad in the house stands up, salute. All right. Hit that join membership button. Membership has its privileges. All right. So let's get into today's topic. Man, we got a jam-packed topic, but we don't have a lot of time. All right. So we're going to condense this like condensed juice. All right. We're going to get this on and popping like instant mashed potatoes when you put it in the microwave. All right. So let's get into today's topics. Episode 3, Too Early for This podcast. All right. So I've been surfing around these YouTube streets, and let me tell you something, these YouTube streets, it's not for the faintest of heart. All right. So let's get into DammnDee. All right. So DammnDee, for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. DammnDee has many channels, but the one channel that's always popping, even in the comment section, is his DammnDee POV, point of view. And he basically does the bulk of his reaction videos. Normally he reacts to different YouTube content providers in these YouTube streets. He he's got this long-standing beef with Sister T, and now Gravity Takeout is in the crosshairs of DammnDee Live. So basically, Gravity Takeout made a video talking about DammnDee possibly scamming. He's a scammer, all right? Be careful. He could be scamming out here in these social media YouTube streets. He basically talked about how DammnDee Live has these different types of donation programs. The most recently is the school drive. And DammnDee is trying to, put some money to a lot of schools, to a lot of children out there who desperately need it, because, back to school is just around the corner. So I commend DammnDee. I commend the premise. Not a lot of content providers, by the way, are not doing this. Not a lot of content providers are doing school drives. Now, the most recent content provider, to my knowledge, now it could be some other content providers out there, like and share you, shout you out. Oh, I appreciate that. All right. Not a lot of people are doing what DammnDee is doing. All right. He's doing it for the kids. And most recently, I remember Kwame Brown doing a shoe drive last year. I believe it was last year, a couple of years back. And I think, giving back to your community is a phenomenal thing. All right. I don't know the intent of a lot of content providers. I don't know DammnDee personally. I can't put my seal of approval, particularly on content providers in social media. I can't say without a shadow of a doubt, okay, I co-sign 1,000% on what they're doing. But if any content providers out there in social media or YouTube is doing good in the hood, that's doing shoe drives, school drives, clothing drives, donating to an organization, I'm for it. All right. Now, the premise of DammnDee's school drive is, like I said, I commend him on that. I salute him on that. Okay. But Gravity Takeout is basically implying that this is nothing more than a scam. All right. And basically his his critique of the school drive is what DammnDee said in a recent video when DammnDee was trying to get some money for the kids starting the school drive. And at first, not a lot of people were donating. And then DammnDee, came out of his own mouth. He said, look, I'm not going to beg you guys, I'm not going to, keep this going, if y'all not interested in donating to the kids, donating to school, to the school drive, I'm just going to cancel the school drive. And then 24 hours later, he got 3 huge donations. But 24 hours after that, he was talking of, he was throwing out some high heat, talking about, hey, look, I'm not going to beg you guys to do something or try to do the right thing or, come out your pockets. Look, if you're not feeling this school drive, I'm just going to eliminate it. I think he said at that particular time, if anybody donated, and I think he had a few donations, I believe the word, and I could be wrong, but I could have sworn he alluded to giving back the money. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the giving back the money, but I am 100% sure of him saying, I'm just going to just kill this school drive because not a lot of people are interested. Well, Gravity Takeout made a video a couple of days ago talking about this could be indeed a scam, and he utilized the evidence of critiquing this. Is notice how DammnDee Live come out with these donations or these drives or things of that nature, right around the first of the month. Okay. Now, he said the last donation DammnDee did, and I'm not familiar with the last donation. I do follow him, but I don't follow him a lot. That was around the first of the month. And what a coinkydink, what a surprise. The school drive is right around the first of the month, okay? Which is the first of the month is today. And that is around the time where, look, rent is due. A lot of people. Now, Sister T says he lives in a dorm and his dorm payments are due. His rent is due and the struggle is real. And that's why he's doing these drives to get up enough money for his rent. Now, Gravity Takeout really didn't have any concrete evidence supporting this accusation. It's just mainly an accusation, and he just pretty much sit back in the lab and allow these guys to the truth will come out. My mom always said that, look, you don't have to tell the truth or lie on someone or tell the truth on someone. Look, the truth is going to come out. Just sit back and just watch it develop. And people show their true colors. People show people just show their true colors. And that's what basically Gravity Takeout did with DammnDee. Now, I'm not saying without a shadow of a doubt, DammnDee is a scammer. I'm not also saying without a shadow of a doubt that Gravity Takeout is jumping and leaping to conclusions. However, DammnDee sort of clapped back with a response video. And basically in this response video, he joked on Gravity Takeout hair, his face. He said he's 21, but he looks like he's 41. He talked, he was just joking on him, this, that, and the third, and then talking about how Gravity Takeout is always leaping to conclusions. And then he pointed out a clip of Sister T getting a super chat on a live stream from Gilbert Arenas. And then he alluded to the first part of Gravity Takeout statement about DammnDee Live, saying, you have to question someone that accept money from someone that they was beefing with, that they was in odds with, that was in verses with. And now all of a sudden you've been making content and then you advertising to the world that Gilbert Arenas ain't right, Gilbert Arenas is wrong, Gilbert Arenas is a hater, he's this, that, and the third. And then the moment the individual that you talked about for years sends you a super chat donation of $500, you just took the money and ran. Show me the money. That's what Gravity Takeout said about DammnDee. Show me the money. So basically, he used some of Gravity Takeout premise on Sister T, and basically implying yo, if you think I just take money and forgive and forget what Mr. Skinny said about him and his father, and now it's bygones be bygones. And then Gilbert Arenas, who has a long-standing beef with Kwame Brown, now all of a sudden you're DMing Gilbert Arenas. And you also said that you don't agree with everything Kwame Brown says, which, take with a grain of salt. I don't really, I just told you guys earlier in this live stream, I don't agree with everything everybody says. I can't put my stamp on everything on everybody that's on social media, that create content on social media or in these YouTube streets. I can't say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm 1000% behind this individual, okay? Which there is some truth to that, but DammnDee basically utilized the premise of Gravity Takeout statement about him, well, most of it, and applied it to Sister T. Now, a lot of people probably got blinded and with the glitz and glamour of him cracking jokes on Gravity Takeout and the premise that he used some of Gravity Takeout narrative to prove that, well, you need to question Sister T loyalty, because she took $500 from Gilbert Arenas from a super chat. Okay, show me the money. Remember, you said show me the money about me. Well, show me the money about Sister T. It seems like Sister T could be bought out. That's basically what you're implying about me. Well, I'm using that same premise on Sister T. And he really, everyone got blinded by that, and everybody, the glitz and glamour, and he made a 30-minute long video, but he never went into that toy drive about the original argument. The original argument was coming from Gravity Takeout is, it's amazing how you have these drives and these donations and these charity things right around the time the first of the month comes rolling around, right around time when rent is due. And now all of a sudden you have these toy drives, school drives and these charity events and these donations. You have all this going on around close to the first of the month. And we have to question that. And he never did or alluded to or even talked about the first part of Gravity Takeout statement. He never co-signed it. He never denied it. He just glanced over it. He just went on the other points and interests that Gravity Takeout was talking about in his 6-minute video. So I'm thinking to myself, he's going to probably come out with a part 2, and he's going to probably have receipts, and he's going to probably show without a shadow of doubt, no, this school drive is legit. These charities that I hosted in these months, they're legit. It just happens to fall close to the first of the month. All right. But he can also show documents and receipts that, look, this is where the money is going to. This is where all the money that I donated is going to. It's going to X, Y, and Z. Look at the receipts. Okay. I got a paper trail. All right. There he goes again. Gravity Takeout, jumping to conclusions, leaping to conclusions. Okay. But he never came out with that video. And on the outside looking in, you got to question that. Now, I will say this about DammnDee Live. I did message him on my gaming channel, and the point was, he talked about Sister T accepting the super chat donation from Gilbert Arenas, basically implying that in his video, he implied that Sister T took money from Gilbert Arenas, but Gilbert Arenas sent that through a super chat, and that is considered a donation. And from the perspective as a content provider, particularly when you do live streams, just because someone that you're talking about or you have issues with, it sends you a donation, doesn't mean I'm co-signing to their narrative. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily co-signing to them. Okay, they did that. I didn't beg for them to send me a donation or send me a super chat or go through the Cash App and send me money there. I didn't beg them. I didn't ask them. They did it on their own. All right. And I made the comment, like, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's I basically, I'm gonna paraphrase what I said to DammnDee. I'm saying, like, man, I hope you didn't hurt yourself leaping to that conclusion, because you're making it sound like that super chat was Sister T was asking for him to super chat him. And it's not like the content provider can refund the super chat. All right. And I was totally wrong about the content provider not having the capabilities of refunding back that super chat. And then DammnDee replied back, you can refund the super chat. I was totally wrong about that. And that just goes, I guess you could say I was jumping and leaping to conclusions. But then after it seemed like sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't do research, follow through, just do research, see what you're thinking about can actually be proven. And I should have Googled and researched and did my due diligence. But yes, content providers can refund a super chat from someone that donated to them in a live stream. And I was totally wrong about that. And I apologize. My bad. I even said it in the message. Okay. But still, it's not like Sister T asked Gilbert Arenas to give her that money. Just because her and Gilbert Arenas are at odds or beefing like beefaroni, if Gilbert Arenas wants to send $500 to Sister T, Mr. Skinny, or even Kwame Brown, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're co-signing to what the narrative that Gilbert Arenas is spewing. Okay, that Gilbert Arenas did that on his own behalf. Now, Gravity Takeout came out with another video yesterday, or late Saturday evening. Sometimes I watch these videos kind of late. I apologize, but basically he said that Gilbert Arenas has been DMing him for the past couple of days about Kwame Brown, giving him information about Kwame Brown. Basically, Gilbert Arenas is saying, hey, Kwame Brown isn't the individual that y'all think he is because of X, Y, and Z. Now, Kwame Brown used to play in the NBA in the same era with Kwame Brown. I believe they were on the same team with the Washington Wizards. I could be 100% wrong about that. If I am, I do apologize. Okay, but they know one another. They know one another. And Kwame Brown, Kwame Brown could be he had history with Kwame Brown before YouTube. Now, I will say this, and like I said earlier in this live stream, just because I'm subscribed to someone, just because I like your comment or I like your video, this, that, and the third, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm 100% behind you. I'm not 100% behind a lot of people on YouTube because I really haven't had any interactions with that individual, only by subscribing to their channel and watching their videos. Okay. Now, sometimes they could be 100% right, and then sometimes they could be 100% wrong, or they could be a combination of the both. But just because, Mr. Skinny, I have no issues with Mr. Skinny. I do feel like him and Kwame Brown should bury the hatchet with their issues with one another and let bygones be bygones and move on. But that's their fight. That's their issues. Okay. But to say that Mr. Skinny is the villain and Kwame Brown is the hero, I feel like a lot of people in these comment sections or when they're watching their favorite content provider, they go all in 100% behind their favorite content provider, saying, well, thinking that they're the victim, they're the hero, they're right. The person that they're talking about is always wrong. You know, at the end of the day, we don't know these people, all right? But what we can do is use our common sense and our common judgment and just look at just listen to what they're saying and just watch the video. And then you come to your conclusion. Well, okay, well, that person was right that particular time, but they were wrong a couple of other times. Now, it seems like everybody is on the Kwame Brown, let's bash Kwame Brown bandwagon. Okay, Ice Cream Vlogs made a video last night, and he talked about how Kwame Brown is always talking about, and this is his assessment about Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown's always talking about being very supportive to Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs, and we got to big up the African American community, this, that, and the third. But he did some research and he found out that Kwame Brown is suing Merrill Lynch, or one of the advisors of Merrill Lynch, because he implied that advisor that worked over there at Merrill Lynch stole some money from Kwame Brown. And then Ice Cream Vlogs made the comparison like, okay, he's all for bigging up Black businesses and bigging up the Black community, but if you look at Merrill Lynch, the majority of those investors are Caucasians. Okay, why did he pick them? How come he didn't pick other investors that the majority of the people that work at those businesses are African American or minorities? Okay, why did he pick Merrill Lynch? Now, and he was with Merrill Lynch from, I think it was 2006 to 2017. I will say this: if you, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the bio of Kwame Brown, not from his main channel, but if you do some research on Kwame Brown was the first pick in the NBA draft. He came straight out of high school. He had this high expectation, and particularly in that era, a lot of the NBA was really micromanaging younger players or just rookies. I mean, players that's coming into the league, and they would recommend different types of health benefits and medical plan, even though the NBA has one, different type of physicians, as well as financial experts. And the number one recommendation in that era, at that time, a lot of executives and the NBA co-signed with was Merrill Lynch. You know, you have to go back at that time when he was a high school graduate going straight into the NBA. You know, we done a lot of things in our lives coming out of high school, a lot of stuff we didn't know about. We had to experiment through life. Sometimes, you live through life by the mistakes that you have done from graduating from high school all the way to 25. You don't make those same mistakes again. And Kwame Brown is no different than any other human being coming out of high school. Don't know anything. He's the first round draft pick, and he goes straight into the NBA. And at that particular time, the NBA, it wasn't highly experienced with financial experts. There was a lot of financial experts that was swindling a lot of NBA players. Charles Oakley talked about it. Charles Barkley even talked about it. I believe Karl Malone had issues with someone that was taking money from him. And it really happens more with football players that get that big time money. And you know, the league recommends this financial corporation to do your stocks, your 401k, all that stuff. And you know, sometimes there's bad apples. There are bad apples in any walk of life. It could be policemen, firemen, doctors, nurses, teachers, you know, retail workers, fast food workers. In any walk of life, you're gonna always have bad apples and bad characters. Okay, and one of those bad apples got their claws into Kwame Brown and fleeced him with, I mean, took a lot of money from him. All right, but you live and learn. Those are mistakes that you don't make again, but you live and learn through your mistakes. And I don't believe Ice Cream Vlog, when I watched that video, he really didn't go into the second portion of his analysis about Kwame Brown. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Kwame Brown is so proactive in the African American community, because, you know, of his experiences when he was a young high school graduate with these big time corporations, and the figurehead is Caucasian. That the majority of the people that are in these financial businesses and corporations are Caucasians. All right, they wasn't the same as him. They were not minorities. The majority of them were not African American. Okay, where they have an understanding. You know, he didn't. You have to. Okay, look, y'all. Yeah, I can understand where Ice Cream Blog was going to, but if you're going to tell that story, tell the whole story. Don't just tell half the story. All right. You have to understand, in that era, the majority of these financial experts and these financial corporations like Merrill Lynch, and I forget all the other corporations that were out and about at that particular time. The majority of the people that were working in these Fortune 500 corporations were Caucasians. I mean, it was very seldom to see an African American or a woman as a figurehead of these big time corporations. So I understand where Ice Cream Vlog was heading, but if you're going to tell that story, tell the whole story. Don't just tell half the story. And maybe that's one of the reasons why he's more pro African American. He's more supportive in Black owned businesses. Support your Black owned businesses. Support your Black communities. Support corporations that are Black owned. Okay, because of his experiences that he had when he was a high school graduate, being the number one pick in the NBA draft and being selected by the Washington Wizards. Okay, so maybe those experiences molded him into the person that he is. Okay, I'm not saying that he's a flip flopper. You know, I'm not saying that Kwame Brown is, you shouldn't believe a thing what he says, but I am saying when you do these narratives, tell the whole narrative. Otherwise, it's a false narrative. If you're only telling what you want people to hear, then it's a false narrative. Tell the whole narrative, okay? Just tell the whole narrative, all right? But yeah, that's what's going on with Kwame Brown and DammnDee and Gravity Takeout and Sister T. I fully expect DammnDee is going to come with a video, and he's going to have receipts. He's going to have layouts of, yes, I did these drives, but this is where the money's going to. Okay, look at the money trail. Okay, follow the money. None of this money is going to my you know, for my personal use, or to pay my rent, or to pay my dorm fees, or whatever. You know, this is where it's going to. All right, and I feel like, you know, DammnDee Live is going to come out with a video like that, maybe sometime this week. Let's just, you know, I don't know. All right, but he's definitely going to have to answer those questions. All right, so let's move on from that topic to TallGuy review. Man, oh man, I did a video on TallGuy, and I talked about, and I reacted to his video that he sold all his cars, all 6 of them. All right. And he's having a life change. You know, he's a married man, and the things that he was doing as a bachelor don't coincide with him and Jasmine as a married couple. Sometimes you have to grow up and move on. Okay, he's not a bachelor no more. He's not Mr. Organic. He's not these other people that he hang around that are car influencers. Plus, I want to say this before we get into it. The influencers that are the the car buying cars, mod them up, upgrading them and putting rims on them and fancy stickers and yada yada yada, getting wraps and oh look, I done damaged my car doing this, or I raced my car doing that. I feel like that has passed and gone. All right. There's really, there are a few handful of people that are still doing car content. All right. But that was an oversaturated market. And I think it started like 2 or 3 years ago. Every YouTube content provider changing their channels overnight to do car reviews or just do cars in general. Hell, you knew it was going to be an oversaturation when you see Kylie Muscle getting himself involved, okay? When you see Big Boy getting himself involved, you see the most strangest, famous YouTube influencers now all of a sudden doing car content, okay? Because it was on and popping 2 or 3 years ago. Now, not so much, all right? I think it's an oversaturated market. I don't think a lot of viewers are still watching those type of videos. Now, there are success stories in YouTube. There are some that are still continuing to do the content, still continuing to get the views, all right? But the people that were just jumping into the car content, I mean, their whole channel wasn't based on car content, all right? They just jumped in because they saw that was a hit to be licked on, and you can make some quick, crazy views and make some quick, crazy key-ish, okay? I feel like that market was oversaturated and it's past now. And now you're seeing a lot of YouTube content providers, not only TallGuy, but Kylie Muscle. You're seeing a lot of these content providers are moving away from the car content. They're moving on to other avenues that are more popular than the car content. And TallGuy is one of those individuals. Plus the fact that the guy is moving on to another stage of his life. He's married, and he's thinking and acting like a married adult. Okay, he's not a young kid anymore. He's not a bachelor no more. He's a married man that's handling his business with his wife. At one point in time, it made sense to do the car content. Now, not so much. That explains why he doesn't do a lot of content on his main channel, and he focuses and pay more attention on the joint content. I mean, the joint channel that him and Jasmine Love have. Hell, even Jasmine Love doesn't even do content on her own channel. I mean, occasionally we'll see them sprinkle in some content on their own channels, but the Love and Slim is the channel that they put. That's their new baby. That's their pet love. That's their pet joy. That's more of a family vlog type of setting. And it's hard to put family vlogs into channels that were not created that way. TallGuy, even though it's a combination of vlogs and car reviews and the bachelor lifestyle, still you couldn't do family vlogs on TallGuy's channel. Just like you can't really do the family vlogs on Jasmine Love's channel, because hers is more reactions, comedy skits, and things of that nature. And the viewers that are subscribed to those channels, they subscribe to those channels for different reasons. They didn't want to see the vlogs, the family vlog, the family vacations, and the dog going through surgery and this, that, and the third. All of that is on their joint channel, Slim and Love. If you're not subscribed to them, please subscribe to that channel. But they're more they're fasting into having a family. It's obvious, you can see that. And it would not surprise me none if they talk about having a child or getting pregnant. I mean, they're gonna sooner or later they're gonna have kids, and they're gonna do like the Ace family and just do family vlogs of their kids and the dog and running around the house and things of that nature. Now, 1000 HP Media, I suggest to follow him, as well as Ice Cream Vlogs. Several other people have went to their platforms and talked about TallGuy's recent video on how selling his cars. And I talked about it as well. Talked about him selling his cars. They're moving out of that rental house. Now they claim they own this house. That I'm just utilizing their words. They say that they're basically owning this house. They either in the process of owning it or they already own this house. And that's why TallGuy has been selling a lot of stuff. Jasmine has been selling a lot of stuff low key. But they're combining their resources and their equity as well as their funds they said, to this new house. Now, Ice Cream Vlog said that this new house that they're in is not even half the size of the rental house they have. Plus, this house has no pool. Hey, sometimes you got to get in where you fit in. All right. Sometimes your lifestyle is based on your financial struggles. And look here, let's just be real about it. We all been struggling before, during, and after this pandemic. Okay. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting you. It's affecting me. It's affecting 1000 HP Media. It's affecting Ice Cream Vlog. It's affecting everybody in the world. And it's definitely affecting and having an impact, particularly on decisions of TallGuy, Jasmine Love, Mr. Organic, Kwame Brown, DammnDee Live. It's affecting all of us. Okay, no one is exclusive from the pandemic woes. Okay, before, during, and after this pandemic, we're all struggling. We're all in struggleville. So sometimes in life, sometimes you have to trim the fat. And that's basically what we all come to conclude. Responsible adults will trim the fat. Now, some people will go on and, if they're not making no more money, no more, and they're losing money, and they're just doing it pure off of their ego. Their ego is telling them, look, I can't let the world see my real life struggles. I got to let the world know that I'm still out here in these streets. I'm still that guy. Okay. I'm still that one. I'm one of them ones. All right. Some people will petrolate something that they can no longer afford to do so. All right. And I give TallGuy a huge big up, because he didn't necessarily have to tell everybody what was going on. But if you read the tea leaves, if you're a responsible adult, if you're an adult, you know that we're all in struggleville. Okay, we're all in struggleville. So you have to downsize some certain things. 2-3 years ago, his lifestyle would have promoted him to have 6 cars. Okay, now not so much. All right, because of this pandemic. Before, during, and after this pandemic, everybody's struggling. Even celebrities are struggling. Even A-list celebrities are struggling. Now A-list celebrities are accepting any type of commercial they can possibly get into to get some dividends, to get those funds, okay? Because it's drying out here. The money sea has turned into a money lake. Now it's turned into a money stream. Now it's a dry creek, okay? The money dry creek is just not enough money out there for everybody, okay? So, look, that's the way it goes, all right? And I commend TallGuy for being honest. Some people would have lied about it or just hid it, or tried to, let's just get another car, even though I can't afford this car. And the car content, I feel like that genre has went and passed. Now you even see Cali Muscle copy and pasting what Tall Guy's doing. Look, I'm gonna downsize. I'm gonna start selling some of my cars, you know. And even though he has a caption, I'm selling all my cars because I'm trying to save my life. But in actuality, he's selling all these cars because having all those cars isn't generating the income that it once did. All right. Now, if I don't know if you guys been paying attention to Cali Muscle, but Cali Muscle, if you want to know how YouTube is thriving or how YouTube is struggling, just look at a Cali Muscle video. All right. For the past couple of months, Cali Muscle has been bouncing different videos on his channel. He did the workouts, he did the dieting, he did what he eat. He did the video games, he did a couple of live streams, he did some car content in between. He's trying to find a way, he's trying to find that avenue that's going to give him that money, that's going to give him that moolah. Okay, so yeah, I feel look, this pandemic has been affecting us on three different levels: before, during, and after. And it's affecting everyone and everything, every corporation, every business, every actor, every actress, every athlete. Okay, it's affecting everyone, every artist. Okay, it's affected everywhere. So everyone has to re-up and consolidate and redo things a little bit differently. And so that's what's going on with Tall Guy Review. I feel like, look, at the end of the day, he has to do what's best for his family. He's not looking out for himself anymore. He's looking out for him, Jasmine, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have kids later on down the road. That is coming, definitely. Okay. And they just moving, they're just downsizing certain things, because certain things that once made them huge views that translate into huge money isn't doing that no more. All right. So we can, everybody's doing that around the world. So when people make fun of them, make reaction videos and things of that, they broke, Tall Guy's broke. Okay, Mr. Organic's broke. Kwame Brown's broke. He's talking about doing OnlyFans. That boy's broke. Everybody broke. Okay, look, hold up, wait a minute. We all are downsizing. Okay, downsizing has no limits. All right, everybody's downsizing. All right, because of this pandemic. Okay, and when we get back to normal, if we ever get back to normal, I don't think we're going to ever see the day where we're fully, totally back to normal. Okay. But yeah, it is what it is. All right. So real quick, I'm going to address Joe Budden. Okay. Joe Budden had a weird week last week. It wasn't a good week for Joe Budden. Drake trolled him, talking about he was at some restaurant overseas and they was playing Joe Budden pump up, that his number one hit commercial wise. Okay. The song that he hates. Okay. He doesn't embrace that song. Joe Budden does not embrace that song, as well as Rory and Maul taking shots at him, as well as a lot of people taking shots at him. Peter Rosenberg took shots at him. Joe Budden has not had a good week. Okay, not one stretch, not one iota. He has not had a good week. It has been a fun day Sunday, fun week for Joe Budden. But Joe Budden did clap back. He clapped back at Maul, about his loyalty. Because I felt like Joe Budden, when that dynamic, Rory, Maul, and Joe Budden, and when Joe Budden was talking about downsizing, remember that word downsizing, and also remember all the problems started really escalating during the pandemic. All right, but they always had these problems, but when times were good, they can overcome them problems, because look at the viewership. Look at the ratings we're getting. Look at the amount of money. Everything was all good in the hood, right? So that dynamic, Rory, Mal, and Joe Budden, I feel like now Joe Budden is not going to say this, but reading between the lines, I feel like between those two guys, Joe Budden really liked Mal. Okay. He felt like Mal owed him something. He felt like out of the two guys that's going to have the most loyalty to Joe Budden, it was going to be Mal. And he was sadly mistaken. All right. Mal was low-key having issues with Joe Budden, particularly with the money situation, even though, it's amazing to me how these guys talk about, and I remember Rory and Mal used to laugh at rappers signing 360 deals or not getting their money, or laughing at rappers not understanding their value, their true worth to the record labels, and they getting into these bad 360 deals, only for them to sign a contract with Joe Budden that's worse than a 360 deal. Okay, these guys were not getting no credit. Okay, they was getting paid, but they were not getting paid like Joe Budden. And I look, I'm not gonna go into the full thing about that dynamic. I did a video on that, telling you guys, look, the majority of these rappers, these famous rappers, these actors, these athletes, okay, when they go on the Joe Budden show, they expect to be interviewed by Joe Budden, not Rory and Mal. Okay, so Rory and Mal didn't understand their value compared to Joe Budden. All right, it's called the Joe Budden Show. It was called the Joe Budden Podcast for a reason. Okay, and a lot of those interviews, a lot of people would not co-sign to them interviews if Rory and Mal initiated the interviews. Okay, so you have to understand your value, your net worth. You got to understand your pull, your juice. And Rory and Mal was clearly drunk off of the fact that they felt like they were partners with Joe Budden, even though their contract didn't even demonstrate or illustrate that they were partners. Okay, I did a video. I'm not even going into that. But look here, I feel like he felt a certain kind of way when Mal disowned him. With Rory, he truly expected that from Rory. He knew low-key Rory was going to snake him. Now that's his logic. Like I said, I don't co-sign to none of these people. I'm not gonna say 1,000% I'm for Joe Budden or 1,000% I'm for Rory and Mal. I'm just telling you guys the story, but I feel like there was some distrust issues with that dynamic, and they broke up because of the pandemic. A lot of people are breaking up because of the pandemic, but a lot of people are not going to say the pandemic because everyone's money is differently. Everybody's money is funny right now. People are looking at their money 3 years ago going like, wait a minute, whoa. We was making this type of money 3 years ago, and now we're making this little money now. What happened? Okay, what happened? All right. The Migos done broke up. Everybody breaking up because of the pandemic. Everybody's money is kind of funny. All right. It's not the same type of money that they are used to coming through their bank account. All right. It's because of the pandemic. All right. It's just everybody's in struggle mode. We're all in struggleville. Okay. No matter if you like it or not, we're all in struggleville. All right. So I felt like that was the number one issue with Rory, Mal, and Joe Budden. Now, the reason why they tolerated it 3 years ago, because they were making some money that outside of the Joe Budden show, they would have never possibly make. All right. And like I said in a video that when I was talking about them, Rory and Mal, they didn't even understand their value or understand nothing really stopping you from creating new Rory and Mal podcast 3 years ago. Okay. You didn't sign an exclusive deal with Joe Budden. The only podcast you could be, and I remember Joe Budden alluding to it, but I don't think Joe Budden would have had a huge issue if Rory and Mal walked up into Joe Budden and said, hey, look, we're thinking about, creating our own thing, having our own lane. All right. Maybe we could experiment with you and have our podcast on your YouTube channel for maybe like a year or two. And then then after that, we will want to do our own podcast on our own YouTube channel. And even though people were talking about when they first created the YouTube channel, when they first created their podcast, everyone was alluding to the numbers. Oh, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Rory and Mal have better numbers than Joe Budden. And now fast forward to today, these guys are, look, at the end of the day, I don't think Rory and Mal is making more money outside of Joe Budden. I think they're making what they were making, plus a little bit more, but not hugely a lot. Okay. Roy and Mal's podcast is not even in the top 10 of popular podcasts. All right. But Joe Budden's is. Spotify still wants to do a deal with Joe Budden. They want to have the exclusive rights to Joe Budden. But Joe Budden is unwilling to do that because he understands the independent nature of things. Rory and Mal has collaborated with several people, a Slacker Radio, several people to do, make their podcast better. And sometimes you have to sell a little of yourself to get where you need to be going. If it means selling a little piece of your business, then that's what you're going to have to do, particularly if you want to be up there. But I have no issues with Roy and Mal's podcast. I think it's a middle of the road podcast. It's the type of podcast I'll probably listen to, and then 2 or 3 months later, I'll probably listen to it again. But it's not a podcast where you're going to see, and I think they're shifting to an interview stage where they're going to be interviewing different people. I think Rory and Mal's podcast is popping when they have a guest on their show. Just like the Top of the Mook podcast, I recommended to Mr. Organic and TallGuy that they should change the podcast into an interview stage podcast, because the things that they say together, it may be interesting on social media, is extremely interesting on YouTube, but in a podcast format, you can't visualize listening to a podcast. Okay, the things that make them successful, they can visualize with the verbiage and make it a smash on their YouTube channel. But when you're doing a podcast and when people are actually listening, I feel like people are not feeling that. And I recommended them guys, hey, look, maybe y'all should just have guests. Okay, now they had one guest on there. And I forgot the kid's name. He's in the car modifying and buying cars and things of that nature. I think it's Josh. I forgot his last name. I do apologize. But I think these guys need to do it in an interview standpoint. Okay, but that's what's going on with Joe. Joe Budden has ups and downs. I think Joe Budden has menopause. Okay, he's up one moment. Have you ever worked with somebody? I work with somebody like that. Okay, a guy, his name is Kurt, and he's very up and down. And it's not from day to day. It's from minute to minute. Like, you'll say good morning to him, and he's on top of the world, and then 2 hours later, he comes across as someone done killed his dog or something. All right. Just up and down behavior, okay? It's menopause or chemical imbalance. I think that's what's going on with Joe Budden. But at the end of the day, he's talented. He has a name. A lot of people gravitate to him. His podcast popping. No matter what people think, it's still popping. It's still relevant out here. But that's all I got for. And I really do appreciate everyone that came in, that commented. I really do appreciate you, Oval. I really do appreciate you. You was the first message on episode 3 of Too Early for This podcast. I really want to label it Too Early for This-ish podcast, but I just keep it simple, keep it PG, keep it funkin', and keep it pushing. All right. But I really do appreciate everyone that came. to the podcast. Episode 3 has came and went. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Please hit the notification button. Please share this with your friends, family, and followers, your mammy, your pappy, your distant cousin, your auntie, your kissing cousin. All right. If you want to support the Don Squad movement even further, hit that join membership button. Membership has its privileges. Yeah, I'm out of here. I really do appreciate what that came by. At one point, we had like 6 people in the building. Even though I know a lot of you guys are going to listen to the re-air of this later on today, please hit the comment section. Where the comment section is for you guys. All right, you guys interact with one another in the comment section. If I approve of something, I'm gonna thumb it up. If I don't, I'll thumb it down. You may get a comment out of me here and there, depending on how complex and busy my life is outside of this. Okay, I'm not doing YouTube on a full-time basis, but it is what it is. But guys, I will see you guys next Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. Oh, also, hit the comment section if you want me to do this in the evening. Too early for this podcast. We can definitely relocate this on it live wise in the evening, but I got to know full without a shadow of a doubt I'm gonna get those live viewers. Okay, just not 1 or 2 of you, but we're gonna need a handful of you guys for me to do it in the evening. All right, but I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys next Monday. I'm gonna have some videos coming on this channel sometime in the near future. All right, guys, I'm up out of here. Deuces. I'm up out of here. Howdy. Appreciate it. Have a good Monday.